Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Visvapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sujivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurtashe Namaha E Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Vipasindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. So we are studying ISKCON Disciples Course, and today we'll start talking about Guru Seva. Lesson number 9. Guru Seva, types of Guru Seva. Seva to Guru is its Seva to ISKCON or to the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and vice versa. Then also we'll discuss on a sensitive topic of rejecting the Guru. When can we do that? How we should do that? And then we'll wind up the course. The final topic is cooperation and relationship within ISKCON. Okay. So seva, service, is a very important ingredient of the relationship one has with spiritual master. Without service, there is no actual connection with the spiritual master. Because we are supposed to give back to the spiritual master, seva. And not that we have to give back. Originally, our nature is to serve. That's what we are made for. And we have come to the material world because we have lost that nature. Or we have misused that nature to serve our own senses, our own desires, right? Our own mind and senses, ourselves. So here, when we are saying service to Guru, that is only a means to teach us the right service attitude. What is that right service attitude? That I should give pleasure to Krishna. I should please Krishna, right? So that's what is going to be discussed today. Let's request all the participants to kindly turn on their video cameras. Those who have joined the session. So what are the ways we can serve our Guru, our spiritual master? And what are the ways we can serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada? Give me some practical points quickly. What are the ways we can serve our spiritual master, our Guru? And what are the ways we can serve ISKCON or Srila Prabhupada's mission? Yes, Komal Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, by preaching Krishna consciousness.
We can serve whom by preaching Krishna consciousness?
Our Guru and obviously Srila Prabhupada as well.
Okay, fine. Manu Prabhu.
We can serve our Guru by following the instructions given by our Guru to us.
Okay. Yes, simple.
By following the instruction of Guru and serving our God family.
All right. Don't you know how to serve the Guru? Means, have you never served your Gurus? Like practically done something, some seva? No, no one here? Never ever did a seva or service?
We are preparing garland for the deities.
Preparing garlands for the deities. Shweta Mataji.
Harekrishna, Prabhuji, done with pranam. Prabhuji, by just serving Gurudev by having something. Oh, actually,
Interesting.
sorry, but something like that. By spreading Krishna consciousness and preaching to new devotees, neophyte devotees who come to temple, or just like something like.
Nikita Mataji. Nikita Mataji, are you? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, when I joined, I was given a seva by my Siksha Guru then. That was to do media distribution.
Media
So,
distribution.
yes, through social media.
Okay, social media.
So I think whenever our Guru gives us any duty, we should do that.
Okay. Ruby Mataji.
By offering prasadam to our Guru.
Yeah, giving something to honor or eat. Yes, Harini Mataji. Can't hear you. Yeah.
By ironing the Guru's clothes or by
By
cleaning
ironing the clothes. Yes,
assisting
yes.
on his deity service.
Correct. Helping the deity service. Okay, you should go.
It is 2 times as they Salvapu and Vani, physical seva to the Guru, in helping him, they said taking bath or is traveling, as she said, irony of the cloth also. And by Vani or otherwise, when Guru is preaching, making arrangements all for the preaching, distribution to sadham, and glorification of the Guru at various meetings.
Very nice. Thank you. Yes, correct. So basically, service means what? Service means offering assistance. That's called seva. You are assisting. Assisting in what way? Okay, that person who is my spiritual master needs someone to drive the car, so I'll drive the car. Someone who can cook for him, so I'll cook for him. Someone who can iron the clothes, iron the clothes. And he's sick, someone is supposed to take care of him. I can help him doing that. So that's called offering assistance. That's seva. And there is seva of 2 types. One is which you can do physically to that person, being close to that person physically. And the other is you can help that person in what that person wants to achieve in the mission of that person. Both are services or seva. So, and in ISKCON, what all services we can do in ISKCON in the mission of Srila Prabhupada, distributing Prabhupada books, inviting people for festivals in the temple, getting people connected to ISKCON temples, bringing donations for the temples, right? Going and doing some practical service at the temple, cleaning, doing puja, seva, doing kirtan in the temple, right? So many things. Now, if we understand it properly, the service to spiritual master is indirectly service to ISKCON. And service to ISKCON is also indirectly service to spiritual master because they belong to each other. They are together. They are not separate from each other. The spiritual master belongs to ISKCON, and ISKCON is made up of devotees. So service to either is actually indirectly service to the other one. Correct? That's the point. However, though it is similar or it is same, we still have to note that both have a role to play and we have to give service to both. So we'll come to that at the last. Now here, let's read some quotations on how service is very important, some quotes. Someone would like to read this slide, the first slide. You cannot pay. Yes, Venkatesh Roberts.
Krishna,
Yeah.
you cannot pay. Just like if you purchase something, you must pay for it. Therefore, it is called sevaya. You cannot pay by returning the value which is taught by the spiritual master. That is not possible. Therefore, it is called sevaya. Dedicate your life for his service. You cannot pay. What you have got to pay to a spiritual master. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Purport Madhya Leela 16.64.
Yes, you cannot pay. So basically, when we are doing seva, we are not doing seva with the attitude that you have done so much for me, so I'm doing a return favor. Right? We are doing seva out of gratitude, knowing very well that whatever amount of seva we might do, we cannot pay back for what we have received from the spiritual master or from the pure devotees of Krishna. I mean, what can you pay to buy Krishna? The spiritual master gives us Krishna. What can we pay to buy Krishna? There's no price tag of Krishna, right? So whatever we do in return is not sufficient. It's not sufficient. That personality is giving us Krishna. That personality is giving us access to Krishna. So that is something invaluable, cannot be paid back. But the attitude is what? I cannot pay back, but still I would want to do something for you out of love, out of gratitude. Isn't it? Next. Why is it important to have a balanced approach in serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada and serving one's gurus? A balanced approach. Why is it important? Why should we have a balanced approach? Yes, we could.
So the balance should be there so that one cannot completely incline towards the Guru and may forget the mission of Srila Prabhupada.
What is the problem with that?
So the problem with that is someone is inclined too much towards the Guru and he may not become offended to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes. No, actually, you see, we have to also understand why balanced approach is being asked. Balanced approach is being asked because it's not that we are getting benefited only from the spiritual master. We are being benefited also from ISKCON as a society to which the spiritual master belongs. Now, sometimes we are so narrow-minded that we cannot accommodate or accept the contributions of multiple personalities in our life and pay back or give back to them. So we try to bring everything, to one point. This person is everything for me. Other than this person, I don't care for anyone. That kind of exclusiveness is not really real Krishna consciousness. Real Krishna consciousness is what? This person is so important for me, and because all of them are also connected to this person, they are also very important for her. So if I say I love my spiritual master belongs to whom? My spiritual master belongs to Srila Prabhupada. My spiritual master belongs to the mission of ISKCON. My spiritual master belongs to the Guru Parampara. So then I have to also love ISKCON. I also have to love Srila Prabhupada. I also have to love Guru Parampara. Correct? It cannot be this or that. It has to be both together. So one has to have a balanced approach. Balanced approach. Next slide, please. Someone read. Rupi Mataji, read.
The devotees of Lord Chaitanya must preach Krishna consciousness in every village and town in the world. That will satisfy the Lord. This order comes down through the parampara system, and the spiritual master presents these orders to the disciples so that he can spread the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is the duty of every disciple to carry out the order of the bona fide spiritual master and spread Lord Chaitanya message all over the world. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.25, Los Angeles, June 23, 1972.
Yes. So now one of the ways to pay back to the spiritual master is what? You take the burden of the spiritual master on your shoulders. And what is the burden of the spiritual master? The spiritual master wants to preach Krishna consciousness. So you take that on your shoulder. I'll assist you. I'll also contribute in that. Right? In that way, you are assisting the spiritual master. You're serving the spiritual master. You are able to contribute to spiritual master's desire, fulfillment of desire. Next slide. Someone please read this. Quickly, please, someone. Megha Mataji, go ahead.
Real association. You write that you have desire to avail of my association again. But why do you forget that you are always in association with me? When you are helping my missionary activities, I am always thinking of you, and you are always thinking of me. That is real association. Letter to Govinda, Los Angeles, August 17, 1969.
Thank you. So what is Prabhupada saying here? That actually association with the spiritual master is not so much on the physical platform. It's more on the level of heart. It's heart-to-heart relationship. So whether you are close physically or you are far, the relationship is always existing. And how do I associate with my spiritual master? By doing what my spiritual master wants. That I can do by being close to him, or that I can do by being physically far away from him or her. Right? Isn't it correct? So what is real association is not that you're just close to each other. The association is when you are helping me do what I want to do. In that way, you are always thinking of me, so you are associating with me. And because you are helping me, I will also always think of you, so I am associating with you. In that way, we are always associating with each other. Right? Isn't it? Correct. That's real association. Now, let's do an exercise. Discuss some of the obligations you have in life in addition to obligations to the Guru, and possible solutions to create a balanced approach in fulfilling all the obligations. Like we have multiple obligations because we have multiple roles to play, right? Role of this, role of that, so many roles to play. So what are the different obligations? Yes, Manu Prabhu.
Prabhuji, are these obligations related to our material life?
Yeah, both.
We can take it as we have so many duties towards our family, and we have to devote time both ways to in our Guru service and also for our family needs and requirements. So we have to balance both so that none of these are affected.
Correct. That's the point, which means we have to balance. We have to balance, right? We can't say, no, I'll be serving my spiritual master so much that I'll neglect my family and neglect my responsibilities. That is also wrong. Similarly, one cannot say, I will serve my spiritual master, but I will not now serve the community through which I came to Krishna consciousness. I'll serve my spiritual master, but I'll not serve the other devotees who helped me so much in my Krishna consciousness. That's wrong, no? Isn't it? Correct? We get so much benefit from ISKCON temples. So we are obliged to serve in ISKCON temples also. Right or not? Where do we get prasadam? Where do we celebrate festivals? Whenever we feel lonely, we want some association, where do we go? We run to an ISKCON temple, correct? Where we can attend Mangalarti, where we can attend Guru Puja, where we can sit and honor prasadam, where we can make new devotee friends. So then we are obliged to serve in that organization also, right or wrong? Yeah, so we need to have a balance towards both service to spiritual master, service to the society, service to the mission of Srila Prabhupada. We must have a balance. Okay, right? So there, yes, Vidya Mataji.
Like for the obligation part you're talking, Prabhuji, I have a young daughter. So she needed a friend circle very badly. So we have a small group of Vaishnav kids. So every Saturday or Sunday, like this is a practical way which we have. I'm discharging my obligation and also my obligations towards ISKCON. We meet and we teach the kids some mantras and they celebrate and we let them play with Krishna games and all that. So this is the way it is inculcating some values also into her. I'm discharging my obligation in terms to my daughter also and also to my also to ISKCON.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Mataji. That is important, right? Let's read this now. Someone please read. Yes, someone read please. Shweta Mataji.
The spiritual master is present wherever his sincere disciple is trying to serve his instructions. This is possible by the mercy of Krishna in your attempts to serve me, and in all your sincere devotional sentiments. I am with you as my Guru Maharaj is with me. Remember this always. Letter to Bhakta Dawn, Los Angeles, December 1, 1973.
So Prabhupada is saying, Srila is saying, whenever a spiritual sincere disciple is trying to serve his instruction, the spiritual master is present. And Prabhupada is speaking that with experience, correct? Isn't it? Prabhupada always tried to fulfill his spiritual master's instruction and he always felt the presence of the spiritual master. Like Guru Maharaj is always with him. Okay, now this lesson ends here. Any questions? Any quick question? One or two questions?
It's very good to, as a principle, to say this balance, right, between the family and, the spiritual journey one executes. But practically what happens is that, I mean, that's what I faced with two grown-up kids, and they, from the younger age, they were, and when the family joined the Krishna conscious movement, they were there. As they grew up, initially the way they were dedicated, right now I find with all the challenges of computer games and all of the materialistic life and peer group that they have, though, I pray to Krishna that, I would want them, to be able to get into this journey like you have done when you did your engineering or whatever. But somehow I see that, that's not happening, and feel a little bit helpless. I mean, I feel that if I force them, it shouldn't happen that they get away from this. So I can just pray and hope for the best. Is that a right attitude to have, or what is the best approach?
When we say balance, it doesn't mean that you have to do the wrong. That's called balance. Balance means what? You have to do the right towards each person who is related to you. Getting it? Understanding, Like, for example, if let's say I have a family member who doesn't like me to be a devotee, and that person wants to engage in some sinful activity, and I can't say balance means, okay, let me also do some sinful activity and also let me try to be a devotee. We can't call that as a balance. Balance means what? Okay, let's say someone is a husband. So as a husband, what are my duties? As per the scriptures, I will definitely stick to those duties. What are my duties as a parent? As per the scriptures, I'll definitely stick to those duties. What are my duty as a citizen of a country? As per the scriptures, I'll definitely stick to those duties. That's called balance. Balance doesn't mean that, we support the right also, we support the wrong also. We do this also, we do that also. We try to keep everyone happy. That's not called balance. Balance means you do what you are supposed to do in a particular role and responsibility as per the guidelines given in the scriptures. That's what it means. Fine?
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay. So let's go to the next lesson now. Okay. Types of Guru Seva. So you can serve the spiritual master in two ways. I mean, in many ways, but those can be categorized in two ways. So one is called Vapu Seva and the other is called Vani Seva. What is Vapu Seva? Vapu Seva means you physically give service to the spiritual master, to his body or to the things he needs, washing his clothes, cooking for him, driving him, cleaning his food, assisting him in different things. That's called Vapu Seva. And the other is called Vani Seva, following the instructions of the words of the spiritual master or helping in the spreading of those instructions or words. So now if you go to the handbook, there's a list given there on different types of Vapu Seva that can be offered and different types of Vani Seva that can be offered. Right? You still want to give some examples how we can offer Vapu Seva? Maybe a few examples. We already gave some examples, but still, if you want to add to it. Yes, Gyan Shankar.
I think engaging in missions or projects initiated and supported by spiritual master would be a Vapu Seva, I would think.
That, what did you say? Serving the mission?
Serving in the mission, helping the projects.
That's called
initiated
Vani
by,
Seva. That's Vani
that'll
Seva.
be Vani Seva.
You are helping in the spreading of the teachings of the spiritual master. That's called Vani Seva.
But if there's a physical work involved, how would you consider that, correct?
When you say Vapu, Vapu means basically that person has a need on the physical level.
Okay.
So when you say Vapu Seva means that's what you're doing. Like helping that person, go to one place from another, you're driving or you're
I see. Okay.
putting prasadam and offering and changing. If that person is too old, and the disciples even help change clothes. Disciples help go to the washroom. Disciples also help bathe the spiritual master. They massage the body of the spiritual master. You're getting it, right? So that's called Vapu Seva, offering service to the body of the spiritual master.
Okay.
Correct?
Got it. Thank you.
Megha Mataji.
Krishna Prabhuji, shopping, doing grocery for our Guru, that is Vapu Seva.
Yes, correct. Thank you. Okay, any other example? Okay, now Vani Seva, give some practical examples. Sweta Mataji.
Prabhuji, if Gurudev says something to do, just like that, something to just wash their utensils and all, or to bring something for their use. That
Hmm.
is. Thanks.
Manu brother.
Vani Seva can be classified as our Guru wants us to collect donations for temple and some service for that, and we are going for that. That may be said in Vani Seva.
Correct. Okay. Thank you. Vinesha brother.
Harekrishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Distributing books of our ISKCON mission and training about the ISKCON etiquette for the neophytes. So, yeah, this I was thinking, Prabhuji.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So there are many ways actually. It seems you all don't have much experience of doing services because you are anxious as showing that. So there are many ways you can serve Vani of spiritual master, help transcribing the lectures of the spiritual master, convert them into books, distribute those books, invite people for programs of spiritual master, organize programs for spiritual master, right? Take him to different places. So many things can be done. When the spiritual master is doing kirtan, playing langa, playing kartal, assisting, all that comes in Vani Seva, which means different ways you can decorate the service of the spiritual master to his spiritual master. That's the Vani Seva. Fine. So devotees, please do make a point. If you really want to become a good disciple, then we should have practical experience of service. That's what makes a disciple. Not doing disciple course. That's what doesn't make a disciple. We have to develop the qualities of a disciple and work on those qualities. Just a moment of association. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Khoy, Lavamatra Sadhu Sanghe, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. The verdict of all revealed scriptures is that by even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. Now, why is it said? Because, when we do Vapu Seva, we come into very close association with the spiritual master, and the energy, the aura of the spiritual master starts affecting us. It starts purifying us. The contamination from our heart very easily goes away in the physical proximity of the spiritual master. So it says, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, even a momentary association of that kind can really change someone's consciousness and bring perfection in one's life. But what is real association? Prabhupada says, but that association is not the real association. The real association is one taken in the heart. What is that? You write that you have desire to avail of my association. But why do you forget that you're always in association with me? When you are helping my missionary activities, we already read this before also, right? I'm always thinking of you and you're always thinking of okay. Now give some examples of inappropriate behavior in presence of one's guru. It's given, the list is already given in the handbook, page number 50. But those are appropriate. Here we are asking for inappropriate ways of behavior in presence of one's guru. Yes, Manu Prabhu.
Leaving from the place without Guru's permission.
Correct. Leaving from the place without Guru's permission. That is inappropriate. That's like being disrespectful. No, Guru is superior to us. So when we want to leave from that place, we should ask our spiritual master, can I leave? May I leave, please? That you'll do to any person who is superior to you. Correct? Yeah. Ashok Prabhu.
Not attentively listening to the lecture of the spiritual master and talking to other devotees when the lecture is going on.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what Srila Prabhupada was chastised for by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Isn't it? When Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur was giving a class, Prabhupada was sitting in the audience, and an elderly man was sitting there. He could not understand some of the statements of Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, some words. So he kind of went close to the ears of Prabhupada and asked him, what is he saying? Can you please clarify? And Srila Prabhupada, that time was a Grihastha, he turned around to just, address that question. And at that time, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, just because you're giving some donation to me, do you think you have purchased me? And he said, if you think you can speak better, you can teach better and explain better, then why have you come to listen to me? Then you go and preach somewhere. So he was angry, quite angry. So we should be respectful. We should not talk while we are listening to a class. We should not talk. That's being disrespectful, right? That's like formality. I'm listening to a lecture as a matter of formality, but I'm not present there.
Not offering obeisances to spiritual master whenever spiritual master, whenever God the darshan of spiritual master. Just thinking that once I have offered, so that is more than enough.
Yeah. Once I saw, once I offered, now that's enough. Now again I see the spiritual master. Why do I have to respect the spiritual master? Correct? Now that's wrong. At the same time, we should know maybe practically it's not always possible that you completely bow down onto the floor and offer respect to the spiritual master, right? Let's say you are standing on a muddy road. If you bow down, all your clothes will be a mud full of mud. So in that situation, what we should do? At least we should bow down our head and acknowledge that yes, I have seen you and I am respecting you. Correct? So that sense should be always there. Not that we are unconscious about it or we are neglectful about it. No, we are actually showing it. It's very important. Any other inappropriate way of behavior? No. Sorry,
Entering in spiritual master room without permission.
Correct, Mataji. We should ask. Yes, Vinesha bro.
Harekrishna Prabhuji, should not criticize any spiritual master.
Not criticize, okay. Correct. Yes. Any other question? Any other point? Sorry. No. Now let's look at the list on the page 50 of the handbook. I hope you have the handbook with you. All of you have the handbook with you. So there, what is the appropriate behavior that is mentioned? The etiquettes. How should we behave in the presence of the spiritual master is mentioned, right? So what is first? One should fall down like a stick and offer pranams. That's called dandavat, right? One should do that on seeing the spiritual master. Second, when the guru approaches, the guru comes forward, then one should face him, and when he leaves, we should follow him, right? Then we should not leave the presence of spiritual master without permission. We should not utter the name of the spiritual master inattentively or disrespectfully. We should always address the name of the spiritual master with respect by using the honorific titles like His Holiness or Srila, those titles that the person is special, is worthy of respect and worship. Next, we should always hold the spiritual master's words in a lot of respect. This is Krishna's words coming out from the mouth of my spiritual master. We should not imitate the walking style, the talking style, the singing style of the spiritual master, not like copy paste. We should, if we are punished by the spiritual master, chastised by the spiritual master, we should not take it as in a wrong manner, that the spiritual master is not kind, the spiritual master is partial, the spiritual master does not like me, likes the other disciple more. It was not my mistake after all. Why did the spiritual master chastise me? So that kind of feeling should not be there, right? One should not hear the criticism of the spiritual master. One should not step on the spiritual master's garden, bed, shoes, asana, shadow, or table. One should not spread one's legs before the spiritual master, nor should one yawn, laugh, or make disrespectful noises before him. Correct? Now, that way you can go through the list on your own later on. Yes, Ashok, do you have a point to?
One question, Prabhuji. Whenever somebody sings very nicely or teaches very nicely, we try to imitate rather. We try to practice that style also. Why here it is said specifically that should not try to do that?
Thank you, Bhakti. Good question. There is no harm in learning from others, but the harm is when you are trying to copy with the mentality that by doing that, I have become like that person. Getting the point? Like someone may think,
Understood. The intention behind that.
yeah, if someone may think, if I sing like Prabhupada, then I also become like Prabhupada, very pure and that mentality has to be avoided. But there's no harm in learning. Whatever melodies of Hare Krishna Kirtan we sing, most of them are the basic ones, the most common ones are those which are sung by Prabhupada only. We just repeat the same melody, correct? Isn't it? But not that we'll imitate Prabhupada's voice and then sing in that particular voice. That will be wrong.
Understood. Thank you.
Yes, Kirti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The first point is he should fall down like a dandavat. Sure, Matajis also do dandavat or panchang before the spiritual master.
No, they do Panchang Pranam, they don't do Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat, actually, we should know one thing. The word Dandavat has two meanings. One is, it means you fall flat like a stick. So you do an Ashtanga Pranam. Ashtanga means with 8 limbs of the body. That's called Ashtanga. Another meaning of Dandavat is that you immediately fall just like a stick. Dandavat. If you keep a stick like this, what will happen? The stick will just immediately fall, right? Like that, isn't it? So physically speaking, the ladies, they don't do an Ashtanga Pranam. They only do a Panchang Pranam. But the attitude, the way that Panchang Pranam should be done is what? Like Dandavat only, in the sense, immediately when you see the spiritual master, you have to fall down, put your head on the ground, right? So that's the attitude. So when we say Dandavat Pranams, it has two connotations. One is Ashtanga and the other is immediately falling on the ground, right? Okay. So there's nothing wrong when Mataji would say Dandavat Pranams, because now we should know when she's saying Dandavat Pranams, it doesn't mean she's going to do Ashtanga Pranam. What it means is that she is going to do pranams with the spirit of immediately falling down on the floor, as a matter of respect. Okay. But physically they don't do Ashtanga, they only do Panchang Pranam. Komal Mataji.
Prabhuji, can you please explain the last point mentioned in the handbook?
Which is the last point? He should treat the wife, son, and relatives like this point. This point.
Ji, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah. So this point is that one should because here we are talking about spiritual masters who are in Grihastha ashram. Okay. So because they are in Grihastha ashram, they have wife, children, and if they are also devotees, the wife and the children are good devotees, not that the wife and children are not devotees. The wife and children are good devotees, following very sincerely the husband or the father. Then because they are related to the spiritual master, they should be respected. However, you would not offer them services or, that you would generally offer to the spiritual master, like cleaning the body, taking the remnants, washing the feet, that you will not do. But you will be respectful to them. Mukuljit Prabhu.
Prabhuji, just now you have said about we should not copy, just like Kirtan. And Prabhuji, if we are just trying to dance like the steps of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, so Prabhuji, is that an offense? We are trying to dance the steps of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj in the Kirtans.
Sorry, can you repeat?
So just recently you have said that we should not copy or we should not in a mentality to copy. But if we are trying to dance the steps of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj or any of the dancing steps of spiritual master, so would it be considered as an offense?
I'm not understanding your question. Imitating the dance of the spiritual master.
Yes,
Even if you try to imitate, you will not be able to imitate. Don't worry.
So would it be considered into an offense?
If you imitate with the mentality that by doing that you become like him. Imitation is that. Like many people, they thought, I would not take names, many Prabhupada disciples, they thought just by speaking like Prabhupada, they have become Prabhupada. And what happened then? They fell down from their spiritual position. Right? So that's called imitation. Now, learning someone, that's not called imitation. Okay, you see someone playing kartal in a particular manner and you learn from that person. That's not called imitation. But then if you play kartal like that with the mentality, I want to become him or I want to replace him, then that's the problem. Jnana.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Regarding this statement, he should treat the wife and son relatives of the spiritual master as spiritual master. Does that mean that one should be doing Dandavat Pranam to wife and son and relatives as well?
So I already answered. No, someone else also asked this question.
Okay, I guess I missed the point about Dandavat Pranam. I can think of
Dandavat
paying
Pranam. I
respect.
explained, right? I explained what is Dandavat Pranam. What is meant by Dandavat.
Okay.
You hear the recording again.
Okay, sure, we'll do that.
Anything else? Okay. Proper etiquette. Someone please read this slide. Why only few students raise their hands? I don't understand. None of you know how to read. No one else knows how to read. So,
proper etiquette. My dear Sanatana, although you are the deliverer of the entire universe, and although even the demigods and great saints are purified by touching you, it is the characteristic of a devotee to observe and protect the Vaishnava etiquette. Maintenance of the Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee. If one transgresses the laws of the etiquette, people make fun of him, and thus he is the vanquished in both this world and the next. By observing the etiquette, you have satisfied my mind. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antalila, chapter 4.
correct. So etiquette is an ornament for a devotee. Proper etiquette, the proper behavior. So one way of etiquette is the etiquette of asking questions or inquiring. So here is asked, what are the appropriate ways of inquiring from the spiritual master and what are the inappropriate ways of inquiring from the spiritual master? Second, what are appropriate issues on which to seek advice and what are inappropriate issues on which to seek advice? Give examples. So, what is the inappropriate way of inquiring that you challenge, right? While inquiring, you challenge. That is inappropriate. Vinesha.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. That inappropriate would be not being humble and submissive and trying to, as you told Prabhuji, challenging way.
Thank you. Appropriate would be to learn with an attitude of learning. I don't know, I wish to learn, or to clarify, not to doubt whether the spiritual master knows or does not know, right? What are the appropriate and inappropriate issues on which to seek advice? Can I ask any question to my spiritual master just because my spiritual master is my spiritual master? Any question, huh? Out of the blue, any question? No, right? We should know what kind of questions can be asked. Correct? Isn't it? Like Srila Prabhupada, he was in a walk and one devotee asked Prabhupada, they were discussing about Dwarka, the city of Dwarka. So he asked Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, how was the sewage system in Dwarka? Sewage system. And first said, what will you get by knowing about the sewage system in Dwarka? I mean, you could not have any other topic to ask about sewage system only. Right? So that kind of stupid questions we should not ask. Irrelevant questions. Any kind of question we should not ask. We should know what kind of questions to ask. Otherwise, we are wasting that person's time, and that time is very valuable. Isn't it? Correct? Second thing, we should know one more thing, which is very important. Never seek an advice from a person if you're not ready to follow. Why? Because if you do that, then you are wasting that person's time. Now, the problem with us is that we think everything comes for free. So spiritual master's time also comes from free. Spiritual master's suggestions, advices, guidelines also come for free. If you have to go to a paid counselor, you will be very careful about what questions and how many questions you are going to ask. Because the counselor is going to say, okay, for each question, so many dollars. So you'll be very careful how many questions I should ask. Right? But because the spiritual master does not have any such condition, so one may think any question, anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Right? That's risky. When we seek advice, we should follow also. Otherwise, we should not seek advice. If you don't follow after seeking advice, then that becomes aparadh. Better don't ask and do what you like to do. It's more safer than to ask, and if the person has told what should be done, still you do what you like to do. That's very bad. So what topics we should inquire, how we should inquire, that's also again very important. Very, very important. Right. Okay. Next. Don't challenge. Yeah, someone. Vidya Maitaji, please read.
Prabhuji, 1 minute. Those who listen to Bhagavatam may put questions to the speaker in order to elicit the clear meaning, but this should not be done in a challenging spirit. One must submit questions with great regard for the speaker and the subject matter. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.5 purport.
One must be jigyasu, very much inquisitive to learn from the bona fide spiritual master. The inquiries one makes should strictly pertain to transcendental science. The word uttamam refers to that which is above material knowledge. Okay. Give examples of disciples who perfected their life just by doing Vani Seva. Any example comes to your mind? Narasimhananda. Prabhupada. Yeah, mostly he did Vani Seva only. Hardly he got a chance to do Bhakti Seva because he hardly met his Guru Maharaj. And when he met, also met for very short time. Correct? Mukulji Prabhu.
Prabhuji, this was the Bhakti Tisha Maharaj.
Bhakti Tirtha. Yeah, very good example. Hardly met Prabhupada, hardly did any Bhakti Seva. Right? Did so much of Vani Seva. Vinesha, Prabhuji.
Harekrishna Prabhuji, can I give the examples other than our ISKCON mission? Like earlier,
Example of? Well,
example of
Eklavya is not a good example.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Because Eklavya is not considered as a Vaishnava.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Komal Mataji.
Prabhuji, Sripad, Indra Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can say Indra Prabhu also did not get much of Prabhupada's association. So there are many such examples of devotees who just got Vani association and they benefited themselves by that. Venkatesh Prabhuji. Venkatesh Prabhu. Raise your hand.
My hands to read this.
You are read. Okay, read. Yes, read.
Yeah, Vani exists eternally. Although according to material vision, His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada passed away from this material world on the last day of December 1936, I still consider His Divine Grace to be always present with me by His Vani, His words. There are two ways of association by Vani and by Vapu. Vani means words and Vapu means physical presence. Physical presence is sometimes appreciable and sometimes not, but Vani continues to exist eternally. Therefore, we must take advantage of the Vani, not the physical presence. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antalila, concluding words. Hare Krishna.
One
Yes.
small question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
It is said physical presence is sometimes appreciable, sometimes not. What does this mean?
See, physical presence is sometimes appreciable, sometimes not. It means that, you see, it cannot be present always, no? And the way it is present, you may not like it that way. Like, to give an example, when the spiritual master is healthy, the body is very healthy. That is different from when the spiritual master's body is externally unhealthy. So, when the bodies are externally unhealthy, you may not be able to appreciate your relationship on the external platform, the material platform, so much when the body was healthy. Like giving a very other example, like let's say our spiritual master is old, and when the spiritual master is talking, you're not able to even sufficiently hear. Right? So that time, what will you feel? Oh, if my Guru Maharaj would have been more healthy and more strong, then I would have been able to take much more beneficially the association of the spiritual master. Correct. So physical association always has these, some issues, some problems.
Correct. I can say when you are trying to have initiation also, you have read the books of a spiritual master. But as you said, while speaking is not as good. So your faith that way will say that whether I should go for him or not. That happens. Understood the point.
So, so physical association is presence is sometimes appreciable, sometimes not. But Vani is always there. It's eternally. Vani is always there. Which means through Vani, the spiritual master never leaves you.
Thank you.
But through the body, sometimes with you, sometimes not with you. Not. Let's take the example of 24 hours in a day only. Will I be able to stay with my spiritual master 24 hours a day? Even if I am, let's say, personal servant. Still, no. When he's sleeping, when he's going to the washroom, I'm not getting any physical association at that time. Correct. But even at that time, through Vani, I'm connected or not.
Yes, that we are connected 24 hours, whenever we are.
So that's how Vani is more important than Vapu. But how does Vani manifest in my life? Vani manifests in my life, or the spiritual master manifests in the form of Vani in my life when I serve the Vani of the spiritual master. To the degree I serve the Vani of the spiritual master, to that degree, the spiritual master will manifest in my life through his Vani.
That means understanding the lectures or preachings of the spiritual master, contemplating on them, realizing them, and implementing in your life.
Correct. So you hear, you contemplate, and you apply in your life. And more than that, you serve the Vani, which means you help in spreading that Vani. Vidya Mataji.
Prabhuji, Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is also a great example of Vani Seva, no?
Yes. But Jayapataka Maharaj also got a lot of association also. Prabhupada.
Okay.
Like when he was in India, in Mayapur, Prabhupada gave him, he got a lot of association with Prabhupada.
He is example of Vani and Vapu Seva both.
Both. Yes, both. Like him, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj. They are personalities who got a lot of personal association also.
Okay.
And there is like Tamal Krishna Maharaj, like, they were always with Prabhupada, very close to Prabhupada.
Okay.
But there are some who are not. But the point here is not, whether you are close physically or not. The point is Vani is important. Even if they were physically close, still their emphasis was on Vani only. And those who are physically far, their emphasis was also on Vani only. Okay. Yes. Someone read this, please. Nisha Mataji, read this. You have to unmute yourself, no?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
And
So far, personal association with the Guru is concerned. I was only with my Guru Maharaj for 4 or 5 times, but I have never left his association, not even for a moment, because I am following his instructions. I have never felt any separation. There are some of my god brothers here in India who had constant personal association with Guru Maharaj, but who are neglected his orders. This is just like the bug who is sitting on the lap of the king. He may be very puffed off by his position, but all he can succeed in doing is biting the king. Personal association is not so important as association through service. Hare Krishna.
Right. You know why personal association is considered not so important? Because that's not a big need of any person actually also. How much personal need is there of a pure devotee of Krishna? Little bit to eat, little time to sleep, correct? No, you can't really provide and provide and provide and provide. How much will you provide? Now, how many people can become cooks for the spiritual master? How many? Hardly the spiritual master eats. How many people can cook for him? And how much can be cooked? So there's limitation to that seva. Vapu seva has limitations. But Vani seva has no limitation. But Vapu seva has limitations. So that's why those who are mature devotees, they should not fight for Vapu seva much. Because they should know Vapu seva has limitations. Rather, they should focus on Vani. And if by chance someday they get Vapu, okay, very happily accept Vapu also, service to Vapu. But Vani should be given more importance. Right? Yeah, someone read this slide, please. Quickly, I want to complete the course today. Yes, Karishna Madaji.
Separation, transcendental bliss. Please be happy in separation. I am separated from my Guru Maharaj since 1936, but I am always with him so long. I work according to his direction. So we should all work together for satisfying Lord Krishna. And in that way, the feelings of separation will transform to transcendental bliss. Letter to Uddhava.
Okay. Any quick question? One or two questions before we take a break. After the break, then we'll do the remaining lessons. They are short lessons, so we'll be able to quickly do them. Right. Karishma Mataji, do you have a question? Karishma Mataji, do you have a question? Okay.
No, Prabhu, sorry.
Krishna Mataji, do you have a question?
Yeah, I have Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, what if one wants to eat the leftover food of Guru Maharaj? Is that allowed with his permission or without his or her permission?
Yeah. See, actually, we should take permission. of the spiritual master before accepting the remnants. But it is said in the scriptures that even if you don't get permission, you should still not miss the chance.
Okay. And what is it is of Siksha Guru?
We should not take remnants of personalities who are not pure.
Okay.
No, it's wrong, because if you take remnants of those who are not pure, then that personality's consciousness will creep onto us.
Okay.
That's right. Because we don't know now if the Siksha Guru is a pure devotee of Krishna, no problem. You can take that.
Okay.
That's fine. That's okay. Right? But if the Siksha Guru is not pure devotee, we don't know, we may not know what is the level. We should not take. It's better not take. That's okay. Fine.
Okay. Cool.
You want to respect it, you can just touch your hand and then you put on your head. Fine. Okay. Let's take a break. Quick break, 2-3 minutes, and then we come back for the class, remaining portion of the class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hare
welcome back. So rejection. According to scriptural codes, a teacher who engages in an abominable action and has lost his sense of discrimination is fit to be abandoned, is fit to be given up. Gurorapi aviliptasya karya karyamachanatah utpatha pratipannasya parityago vidhiyate. If the guru becomes attached to sense gratification, loses his sense of duty, and follows a degraded path, a path other than devotional service to the Lord, he should be rejected. This is a verse from Mahabharata. Udyog Parvat. Now, rejection of Guru is to be done when the Guru is no longer following the duties of a Guru, or no longer behaving like a Guru. It's no longer having the character of a Guru. Right? However, rejecting a Guru does not mean disrespecting a Guru. They are two different things. Rejection means distance. Rejection does not mean disrespect or offense. Right? Rejection does not mean, you put it in the trash can, rejecting. That's not what rejection means. Rejection means disconnection. That's called rejection. Understanding? Sometimes people, they start disrespecting, which is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because you also learned a lot from that person, even if that person has lost his sense of character. You did learn, right? And because you learned so much, you cannot disrespect that person now. But you can only disconnect or keep a distance. So most of the devotees or most of the people in this world, what mistake they might do is, because someone has done something wrong, then you start blaspheming that person, disrespect that person, bringing that person's down in others' image, in others' image. That's wrong. That's very bad. Scriptures say that someone has done something good for you, you should always remain grateful to that person, even if that person has become bad now. But you keep distance from that person so that that person cannot do any harm to you. Okay. So when we see some devotee, our superior, doing something wrong, with their appropriate ways of lodging their complaint so that they can be rectified, not that they can be humiliated or they can be punished. They can be rectified, they can be transformed, they can be corrected, checked, right? If a guru is engaged in sense gratification, violating one or more of the regulatory principles, but there is hope that he can be rectified, then his disciples should not reject him, but should allow time for such rectification to take place, and they should take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and senior Vaishnavas as Siksha Gurus. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the book Second Chance, anyone can fall down from spiritual position. Anyone. Even says, even a pure devotee can fall down from a spiritual position. Because the possibility is always there. Of course, they will not fall down, but the possibility is always there. Why possibility is always there? Because of the jiva being tatastha in nature. Tatastha? Marginal potency of Krishna. So the possibilities are, but they will not fall. So he says that someone has done a mistake, that's fine. We should not start hating that person for that. Rather, what we should do? We should pray for that person, that this person needs help now. Isn't it? That should be done. And we should also, if possible, help that person to come out of that problem or that difficulty. Hmm. Okay, so this is a very sensitive topic, rejection of Guru. If we see our spiritual masters doing something wrong, our superiors doing something wrong, first of all, we should be very careful that are we making assumptions? Are we wrongly judging them? Are we wrongly concluding something? Do we have a proof? Do we have an evidence? And after that, okay, no, actually this was wrong. Then what is the way to help them? Not what is the way to, blaspheme them in the public? How can we bring the reality in front of everyone's eyes? Not that. Because then we are being ungrateful for what good things we have received in the past. Okay. So that's the way of actually taking decisions, taking proper decisions. So what should we do in such a situation? We should always go to the superior of that person and inform that superior that I saw my devotee, superior devotee Vaishnava doing something wrong. I cannot correct. I may be also wrong, but then it's my duty to inform it. I will inform. Right? Now, let's say someone had taken initiation from a particular spiritual master, and that spiritual master came down from his position as spiritual master. Does that devotee need to take initiation again? Yes, no. Is it required to take initiation again?
Can change the spiritual master with the consent of higher. He can change the spiritual master with the consent of GBC.
So no, you'll change the spiritual master. Yeah, but is it needed for reinitiation again? Sit for a yoga ceremony again, get a different name, again get a different mala. Is it required?
Yes.
Is it required? It's not required. Why it's not required? Because at the moment you received initiation, that person was properly, purely situated. After that, the impurity came. But at that time, that person was properly situated. So when we get initiated, we are not getting connected to one person. We are getting connected to the parampara. Getting it right? We're getting the parampara. I'll give you an example. For example, let's say a lady gets married to a man. Is she getting married only to that man, or is she getting married to the whole family? Here the word married, you take the broader meaning. Is she not getting related to the whole family? Right? Not just to that person, not to the whole family. Now, if that man dies, does that lady's relationship with the family also die? No. Likewise, the spiritual master is a medium to connect us to the parampara. Now, that medium connected us to the parampara. After that, anything might happen to that medium, our connection remains to the parampara. Fine. Now, in that situation, we don't have to take reinitiation, but because we need constant guidance, protection, and shelter, we can accept any other bona fide pure devotee of Krishna as our Siksha Guru. We don't have to take diksha again. I hope you got the point.
It means eternally, his Shiksha Guru will remain the same. Diksha Guru will remain the same, even he has rejected it.
Eternally, who is our spiritual master? That's not
eternally
always.
Means so long as he is live in this material world.
Well, if that Siksha Guru has some issues, let's say in future, then you can again go for another Siksha Guru. You're getting the point.
Diksha Guru will remain the same. Diksha Guru will
as a formality, yes. Externally.
Yes.
As a formality, yes.
Okay, I can conclude. Because when the devotee falls down, then he comes back to the ISKCON, then he has to take reinitiation.
When a devotee falls down, and then after that he comes back to ISKCON, does he have to take initiation again? No.
But it was written in the note. Procedure for the initiation, first, second will remain the same. 2 years he has to wait, and then he can be initiated. Procedure for initiation will remain the same.
No. If that devotee has taken initiation in the past, why does that person has to take initiation again? Not required. Because the spiritual master has not rejected. No, if let's say the spiritual master rejected, okay, now you are out of my books of concern. You are on your own. I reject you. Then yes, then you are shelterless. So you come back, then you take initiation again. But if the spiritual master is not rejecting, the spiritual master say, okay, I accept you back, then why take initiation?
Prabhuji, out of curiosity, is there any instance where the spiritual master has rejected a devotee, like you said?
No. Because the spiritual master only rejects a disciple when the disciple does aparadh. A spiritual master does not reject when a disciple does a sinful activity. Why
they are
the
very
spiritual
kind
master?
and compassionate also.
Because they know, sinful activity is sometimes done out of one's past bad sanskars, one situation, like that. So then what they do is that they give that person some time. Okay, you don't want to become a devotee in this life, next life. Sure, no problem. But they don't reject completely. That's why if you study Prabhupada's Lilamrita, you will see Srila Prabhupada, he was still very much, not really, we cannot say okay, but Srila Prabhupada still very much accommodated fall down in the sense of not following four regulative principles. But Srila Prabhupada never accommodated people deviating from the path and bringing up a new philosophy of Krishna consciousness. You getting the point? They were like thrown out of the society. You are changing the teachings. You are corrupting the teachings. That's a different thing. But sensual fall down, Prabhupada very much accepted. It's okay, no problem. Try again. Because what is the other hope? If you reject that person, what is the other hope? There's no other hope. There's no other hope. Right? Okay, Prabhu. Nishaluda.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So regarding when the Diksha Guru may not happen, that it will fall down or whatever happen with the whatever reason. So if he or she fall down, so means we have to think for Diksha Guru again, and we have to inform as well.
When the Diksha Guru has fallen down, what you said, we have to
rethink again for Diksha Guru. And
why you have to? If you have taken Diksha, then you don't need a Diksha Guru again. You just take someone, accept someone as a Siksha Guru.
Okay. We don't have.
Because what is the duty afterwards? After initiation, Diksha Guru is also going to remain Siksha Guru only, no? Not that Diksha Guru is going to every day give you Diksha. Right. After the initiation, Diksha Guru is also going to remain a Siksha Guru only. Will give
But
you
sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
But idol should be there, na? That we have to
It is
follow
our
that.
problem that we think Diksha Guru should be always considered the topmost. Chaitanya Charitamrita says Siksha Guru can also be considered on that level. It is our problem that we have made Diksha Guru as the highest position. As per Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are three kinds of spiritual master for a devotee. And Jiva Goswami says, who is the most important? So one is Diksha Guru, second is Siksha Guru, and third is Bhajan Rahasya Guru. And Jiva Goswami says, out of these three spiritual masters, that spiritual master who is our Bhajan Rahasya Guru, it should be the most dear one.
So
What does this Bhajan Rahasya Guru means?
Yeah.
Bhajan Rahasya Guru means who helps you advance in Krishna consciousness step by step. Takes you to higher levels of Krishna consciousness.
By way of Kirtan, because Bhajan is mentioned.
Bhajan means sadhana bhakti.
Okay.
One who teaches you the science and the mystery of sadhana bhakti so that you can be elevated from lower levels of bhakti to higher levels of bhakti, from overcoming your anarthas and becoming steady in Krishna consciousness, from vidhi marg to raga marg. All that, one who teaches you, helps you, that's your eternal spiritual master. And that's why we should be most attached to that spiritual master. Understand?
Because of these circumstances that Guru comes in our life, or we just go and find him, try to find him?
Not because of circumstance, because of your desire.
My question is, Shiksha Guru is there, Diksha Guru is there, then where is the need to desire a third person?
Well, how much you want from Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru will decide. You may say, I have a Diksha Guru, but what is the guarantee that that Diksha Guru is on that platform? Because Diksha Guru can also be on a lower platform. There's no certainty, no? Jiva Goswami says, even a Madhyamadhikari can become a Diksha Guru. Means Acharya says, even a Madhyamadhikari can become a Diksha Guru. Need not be an Uttamadhikari Vaishnava. So you don't know. Now that the problem is what? The problem is we are thinking there'll be only one Guru and we'll get everything from that person. But actually what happens is, as you make progress in Krishna consciousness, Krishna starts sending you higher and higher levels of gurus.
Please, Prabhuji, he has listened to Shiksha Guru, he has listened to Diksha Guru, whatever they had taught, he has absorbed,
It's not about that. It's not about that. It's not about just understanding and absorbing. It's also about the purity of the person who is teaching you. Okay. So why we have to be so uncomfortable with this idea? Let's accept the reality that we can have more than one Siksha Gurus. What's the problem? Right? Someone has come to our life, that person can give to the extent that person can give. Now, when we'll become qualified to receive more, Krishna will also send some other Guru in our life. Now, why should we then close the door? Closing the door there means my own loss. At the same time, now when this special person comes to your life, you don't become disrespectful to the previous ones who helped you.
Guru acceptable. I was just trying to know the process.
Yeah. You're understanding? So we know why I'm emphasizing a lot on this, because many ISKCON devotees, they suffer because they have this mentality that you can get help only from one person. And why they suffer? They suffer because that help does not always come from one person. Right? So then they suffer. Like I remember one devotee I know, she was complaining to me that, our Guru Maharaj, his lectures are very short. Our Guru Maharaj does not speak on advanced levels of Krishna consciousness. Our Guru Maharaj, he speaks to an audience who is very, very like neophyte type. And now I want to make progress. I want to hear other kind of classes. I want to hear classes on other subjects. But our Guru Maharaj does not talk on that. So how will I hear it? So then I told to that Mataji that, but there are pure devotees of Krishna who are in the same organization, who are on the same path, who are beloved God brothers or God sisters of your Guru Maharaj, and they talk on those subject matters, they talk on those books. Why can't you hear that? What's wrong about it? Now then she says, but will it not be disloyalty to my spiritual master? Why will it be disloyalty? You are foolish to think that it will be disloyalty. right? You'll be foolish. This broadness should be there in our mind. We should have this broad-mindedness. Now, when it becomes wrong is, after you start hearing this particular devotees lectures, you start disrespecting your spiritual master. That's where the problem happens.
That is point you have mentioned again and again and again. That is your intention. Yes.
Yeah. That's the problem. But if I can expand my heart, expanding the heart means what? I can develop respect for more number of people, for greater number of pure devotees of Krishna. That's not called disloyalty. That's actually called maturity. That's called maturity.
Thank you.
Okay. Harini Mataji.
Let's say a devotee.
Your voice is very low.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Let's say a devotee is serving the altar as a pujari, and he needs to put his guru's picture on the altar, and then let's say his guru fell down. So what should one do? Is to put the same picture. Sorry?
Can then put the picture of Siksha Guru.
Of Siksha Guru. Thank you.
Yeah. Or if let's say one does not have such a Siksha Guru, put the picture of Srila Prabhupada. He's everyone's Siksha Guru. Yeah, getting the point, right? Vidya Mataji.
Prabhuji, can your Siksha Guru also be your Bhajan Rahasya Guru if he's guiding you step by step?
Of course. But then that Siksha Guru should be on that platform also.
How can I judge he's on that platform or not? Because my level is also not like that. So how will I be able to judge that?
You don't have to judge that. By time, Krishna will show you that.
Okay.
If we don't have to judge, why are the scriptures talking about different types of Vaishnavas? You study in Updesha Amrit Nectar of Instruction. Why Rupa Goswami is talking about Kanishta Adhikari Vaishnava, Madhyama Adhikari Vaishnava, Uttama Adhikari Vaishnava, and explaining their symptoms, characteristics. So you have to look at characteristics, no? Now, when you say, I have a Siksha Guru who struggling to chant 16 rounds, and I have Siksha Guru who overeats prasadam, and I have a Siksha Guru who is sometimes criticizing the Vaishnavas.
Okay.
Then out of emotional connection, I may say, no, my Siksha Guru is pure devotee of Krishna. But then scriptures say something differently. How can that person be pure devotee of Krishna? Maybe that person is trying to become a pure devotee of Krishna, but not yet become a pure devotee of Krishna. Right.
A general discussion by a Siksha Guru about the state of affairs in ISKCON, suppose, if it happens. Is that also Prajalpa? If it is meant for guiding?
Depends on to what extent that discussion goes.
Okay.
Right. So we have to understand these things very nicely, and we don't have to get panicked. Oh, I don't have a bhajan Raisya Guru, now what will happen to me? Don't worry. As we make progress in Krishna consciousness, Krishna starts opening up new doors for us.
Okay.
We just have to be open to accept it. That's the point I'm trying to make. Not that today only let's start looking for a bhajan Rahasya Guru. Who is that my bhajan Rahasya Guru? Take it back, got it. Not like that. You remain open to what is being unfolded in your life by Krishna. That's the point.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Next. We'll go to the next lesson. Next lesson is we did rejection of Guru, right? Next is presenting one's Guru. So this topic is also very important. We have accepted or a particular person as a spiritual master. So definitely we'll have a lot of respect and adoration and love for that person. Or we may have a particular Siksha Guru, and again we may have a lot of respect and love and adoration for that person, right? However, when it comes to presenting them in an open forum, in a public forum within ISKCON, we have to be careful that we are not overemphasizing their good qualities so that that shadows others' good qualities. Why? Because we are doing it in a public forum. Which means no one should feel that we are canvassing our spiritual master, we are canvassing our Siksha Guru. In that way, what we are doing a disservice to the others. How? Like to give an example. Let's say a class is going on. There are devotees who have come from different places and they're disciples of different spiritual masters. And in the class, it's a general class. And in that class, you keep on just giving information about good qualities of your Diksha Guru. Then people sitting in that class will feel, what about our spiritual masters? Are they not good? They don't have any good quality. Only this particular spiritual master has. Right. So the speaker has to be a bit sensitive that my audience has a mix of all kinds of devotees and disciples. So why not I also give examples of other spiritual masters, not just my own spiritual master, because they also have good qualities. Right. So that maturity is needed. That maturity is needed. Like for example, let's say a lady meets her friend, or a man meets his friend. Now this lady A, she's married to a very good man who is a very good husband, and lady B is also married to a very good man who's a very good husband. So when the lady A meets lady B, she can always tell, my husband is very nice, my husband is very good, my husband has this quality, my husband has that quality, this, that. That's nice. But then this lady should also know that if I want to encourage this particular lady in her relationship with her husband, so I should also say, your husband is also quite a good husband. That will encourage that lady. Oh yeah, my husband is also nice. So similarly, we have to glorify our spiritual master. But we also have to be very sensitive that others, they have their emotional connection to someone else. So they should also be glorified so that they feel encouraged. Right. That's why in a public forum, you don't over glorify your spiritual master. You glorify to a certain limit. On Vyas Puja day, complete glorification. No check. But otherwise, so then what we do is, best is what? We want to give examples of Prabhupada, because he's everyone's spiritual master. No one will feel bad, right? Everyone can relate to him. So you give his examples like that. So this is little maturity which devotees should have. They should have this maturity. Sometimes I know some temples in ISKCON where there are devotees who are disciples of a particular guru only. Majority, like 95% or 98%, and few people are disciples of other gurus. Many times because of insensitivity of devotees, these minority devotees, they feel very bad because of the bad treatment. And that's again Vaishnava Puran. That's wrong. Like, to give you an example, let's say a temple has 200 devotees, and out of those 200, 190 are disciples of one guru, and 10 are disciples of other few gurus. So this temple decides, because this temple is connected to one Guru Maharaj who has so many disciples, we will only celebrate that Guru's Vyas Puja. And for other gurus, the disciples should manage their own Vyas Puja celebrations. We are not going to participate or support in that. Will those 10 not feel bad? Will they not feel bad? They will feel bad. Right. So that kind of immaturity should not be shown by devotees. That's wrong. Or, everyone is disciple of a particular spiritual master and someone is wanting to take initiation from some other spiritual master. And then you start pulling that person's leg, or you start blaming that person to be unloyal. You put a stamp on that person's head that this person is not loyal. That person has decided to go to some other guru. That's very bad, wrong. And it happens, sadly, it happens in our society, which is not correct. This is very wrong. I'll tell you interestingly, once it happened. From my beginning days in spiritual life, I hate this kind of behavior. I don't know why. So I went to one temple, and one brahmachari was there in the lift in that temple. So, when that person saw me, he saw me for the first time in that temple. I was a guest at that temple. And he was like, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. And I was like, okay, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. After 2 minutes of discussion, 5 minutes of discussion, who is your spiritual master? And I said, he is my spiritual master. Oh, you are my god brother. I'm so happy to meet you. So that is wrong. Why it's wrong? Because before that person is your god brother, that person is a devotee of Krishna. Before that person is your god brother or god sister, that person is a member of Prabhupada's family. So you should be equally happy. Not because my god brother, so I'm so happy. Right. Then our way of thinking is like the thinking of a materialistic person, bodily consciousness. We are still on bodily consciousness. We have not yet learned to see the other person as spirit soul, as a part and parcel of Krishna. Right? So this is immaturity in Krishna consciousness. Kanishta mentality. Nishama Gajwal.
Prabhuji, if you said that one should not do the Vyas Puja or should not criticize the other gurus, what if it happens, what steps we have to take if it happens?
What steps we have to take depends on who we are, means what influence we have. If you have an influential position, then you try to stop it or correct it.
What if I am a small part of?
Yeah, if you don't have such an influential position, then you should know those people are wrong and you should keep distance from those people's consciousness.
Okay.
Don't let their consciousness come to you.
Okay.
Right?
Hare Krishna.
Because that kind of mentality means that person is still a Kanishta Vaishnava. That person has not grown in consciousness. Right? That person is still Kanishta. Like for example, if let's say you're living in a joint family, 5 brothers living together, and you get some sweets at home, special sweets, and then what you do is for Papa, for Mama, for my real sister, but we don't keep anything from my uncle and aunt and other cousin brothers. Then what is that called? That is called cheap mentality, low mentality. Correct? So living together as a joint family means then you should be doing equal favors to everyone. Same thing when we're living in a ISKCON family, we're living in a bigger spiritual family, then just doing favors to someone because that person is God, brother, God, sister, that's cheap mentality. Wrong. If that would happen with us, would you like that? No. Same thing. If you do that to someone else, that person will not like it. Okay. So we should be careful. So what do? We don't overemphasize our guru in public. We give that due respect in such a ceremony where everyone is glorifying our spiritual master. But publicly, our hero, everyone's hero is Srila Prabhupada. That's what we keep in the front, in the center, right? And towards others also, we try to develop respectful attitude. And finally, relationship. So relationship within ISKCON, relationship of cooperation. It's very, very important. Very, very important. We should cooperate. I mean, this is one topic on which we can talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. We should know in Kali Yuga, without cooperation, preaching is very difficult. We cannot preach without cooperation. We cannot expand this movement of Mahaprabhu without cooperation. So we should cooperate, work together, keeping the differences aside. Well, that's the spirit which is required. Correct? So cooperation means you keep your likeness, your likings at the back sometimes when required. It's called cooperate, working together. So as devotees in ISKCON, we have to learn to cooperate with other devotees, whether even if they're not our God brothers or God sisters. We have to learn to cooperate, respect them, appreciate them, work with them, learn from them. For the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, for the pleasure of spreading the mission of Sri Chaitanya Prabhu. United we stand, divided we fall. That's the principle. That's the principle. So this becomes very easy for people who have come from a joint family background, because they have learned to live with many people. Those who come from a nuclear family background, they have difficulties, because that's what they did in life. 2-3 people, that's all they know. More than that, 2-3 relationships, and that's all they have been able to manage with. But those who have been brought up in a joint family, they know huge 20, 25, 30, 40 people, and you have to have relationship with each one of them, and you need to keep them happy. You need to serve them. You need to accept them, whatever they may be. But nuclear family means what? Papa, mama, maybe one brother, sister, 4, and sometimes with grandmother and grandpapa, 6 people. So you just have to deal with 6 people. That's all. Not more than that. Then it's very difficult to accept different kinds of devotees in one's life. But otherwise, we have to learn to do that. That's mature Krishna consciousness. Maturity in Krishna consciousness. Okay. All right, we'll stop here. The handbook has a lot of content, lot of material, very rich material. So my request is, once the course is over, don't think that, there's no need to open the handbook again. You can still go through the handbook. You'll find very relevant quotes of Srila Prabhupada. Many other concepts are also explained. So at least once do a complete reading of the handbook from the beginning till the end, so that you know what is there in this particular course. We could not exactly read line by line, word by word in the lessons we did, in the sessions, right? We did. So any last questions for this course? After that, we'll wind up. You'll get your link for the 3rd quiz today, and tomorrow you have your exam, the written exam, 7 to 9 p.m., right? So the guidelines for the exam will be sent tomorrow. So any questions, any doubts on this topic, ISKCON Disciple Course or discipleship, anything, you can ask now. No question. No question at all. This batch of IDC is the most passive batch so far. Sorry to say. Most passive batch. Vinisha.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we are, while quoting for Srila Prabhupada, Guruji, we pronounce Srila Prabhupada. So what is the difference between Srila and Shri? Just wanted a clarification about it.
Shri is a general term used for offering respect. Shri means auspiciousness, opulence. It's like representing good fortune. So Shri. Now Srila has a very esoteric meaning. Srila means a personality who belongs to the Leela of Shri, Srimati Radharani. It's called Srila.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So Srila Prabhupada means personality who belongs to the pastimes of eternal pastimes of Srimati Radharani.
Okay.
Confidential servant of Radha and Krishna. That's for Sri. Okay. Fine. Anything else? Okay, then we'll stop here. Just do me a favor, please. On the website, if you go to the course page, there is a section called reviews. So we'll be happy if you can write a review about the course. You have to put your name and a comment and a description of how did you find the course. So just drop it there. In the page of the course, you'll find a tab called review. There you go. But you'll have to log in first and then you can leave it. Okay, so we'll stop here. Thank you so very much. See you tomorrow for the exam. Wish you all the best. And I hope you are completing the quiz. Your third quiz is open now. I'll just quickly share the link for the quiz. You can go and do it on the website. And tomorrow you'll have to give the last quiz, which will be open for the whole day. And you have a CBA exam, the written exam. So it will be on Zoom 7 to 9. You'll have to keep your cameras on. Anyone whose camera is off tomorrow during the exam, your paper will be rejected. And you have to write the answers on paper sheets, then staple them, write your names on the paper sheets, take pictures of it, make it into a PDF, and then you have to upload the PDF onto the website. Okay, that's how you submit the assignment. Yes, Mukul.
Third quiz you will share just now. There will be fourth also tomorrow morning.
Yeah, fourth will be tomorrow. It will be available throughout the day, fourth. Anytime you want to. Yes, Mukul Jitral.
That internet issue is sometimes with doing because of that Wi-Fi. So maybe it may happen that most of the time I just log out and log in. So, internet issues are there. Suppose for tomorrow that if my connection got disconnected or anything. So
that's okay. You join again.
Third, we have to give it today only, or we can give it tomorrow morning?
You can give tomorrow morning also. I'll share the link by today, but you can give tomorrow also.
The third one we can give tomorrow also.
No.
Okay.
Prabhuji, CB will have how many questions? CB exams will have how many questions?
5 to 6.
5 to 6. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Harekrishna.
Any choice of alternatives will be there that you have 10 questions out of which you choose 5 like this?
No. All questions compulsory.
Okay.
No alternative. Because you need to know everything, no? So there's no choice. Right? No choice. Okay.
So the Prabhuji, the questions will be coming from those 20 questions only, right?
No, I'll ask you questions from Bhakti Shastra. The questions will come from the syllabus which has been given to you.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Fine, we'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hare Hare Bhakti.